I never believed in the paranormal. I was one of those people who laughed at ghost hunters on TV and thought Ouija boards were party tricks. That changed the month I worked night security at the old St. Augustine Memorial Hospital. The place had shut down years ago. Rumors flew, failed inspections, budget cuts, unexplainable deaths. The usual small-town gossip. But officially, it was just an old, empty building being prepped for demolition. My job was simple: show up at 11:45 p.m., check in with dispatch, and then patrol the hallways every hour. The rest of the time, I sat in a small security office with dusty monitors showing camera feeds that flickered like bad VHS tapes. The first few nights were uneventful. Just creaky pipes, flickering lights, and rats bigger than house cats. I'd bring a thermos of coffee, put on my headphones, and count the hours until sunrise. Then came night 6. At 2:03 a.m., I was doing my usual walk through the East Wing. Maternity, pediatrics, and the old ICU. As I turned a corner, I passed by room 236. I froze. The door was open. That door was always locked. The maintenance guy said it was stuck shut with layers of paint and warped wood. I stepped closer. My flashlight flickered, not the battery kind of flicker, like something was interfering with it. The air turned cold, unnaturally cold. I could see my breath in front of me. Inside the room, it was empty, mostly. The bed frame was still bolted to the floor, and on it lay something that hadn't been there before. A patient gown, neatly folded, with a name tag pinned to the chest. Margaret E. Dwyer, DOD, April 2, 1976. DOD? Date of death? My hands were shaking. I backed out slowly, not taking my eyes off the gown. As soon as I cleared the doorway, the door creaked shut behind me. I jumped, spun around. Nothing was there. Just the sound of my own breathing and the thud of my heart in my ears. I logged it in my report but didn't tell anyone. Who'd believe me? The next night, room 236 was locked again. Just like before. I tried the handle. Nothing. It was like the door had never moved. 2 nights later, around 3 a.m., I was reviewing camera footage in the office when I noticed something odd. Camera 7, which covered the central hallway near the operating rooms, showed a figure, a person in a hospital gown slowly walking down the corridor. I stared at the screen. The person wasn't walking. They were gliding, their feet inches above the ground. The figure turned toward the camera. I couldn't make out a face. Just a white, blurry smudge where the features should have been. Then the feed is cut to static. I rewound it. Same thing. And it only showed up once. No figure before or after. I left the office to check that hallway, thinking maybe some local kids had broken in to mess with me. But that corridor was ice cold, colder than any room in the building. And there were wet footprints on the floor, leading into one of the old surgery rooms, and stopping halfway inside. No exit prints. On night 12, I made a mistake. I started hearing a voice. It began faint. Like someone talking through a wall. Muffled, but constant. Help me. Over and over. I tried to trace the source. It seemed to be coming from the lower level, a place I was told not to go into. The basement level where the psychiatric ward used to be. But I had to know. The stairwell was pitch black. My flashlight barely cut through it. The moment I stepped on the basement floor, my ears popped. Like pressure was building. The voice was louder now. Please, help me. I turned the corner and found a wheelchair, facing the wall. Still spinning slightly. Behind it, the wall was smeared with something dark. I didn't touch it. A loud bang came from behind me. I spun around. A gurney had rolled out from one of the rooms. It stopped in the middle of the hallway and creaked to a halt. No one was there. No wind. Nothing. I ran. I didn't stop until I was back upstairs and locked the security office door behind me. I called in sick the next night. And the night after that. When I returned, I noticed a new file on the desk. A brown folder labeled simply, Incident Log, 1976. I never put that there. Inside were handwritten reports from former staff. Mentions of patients seeing the woman in white. Mentions of children crying in the walls. Of nurses who vanished during their shifts. And near the back of the folder, a final note. Do not engage with room 236. She remembers. That was my last shift. I handed in my badge that morning and never returned. They offered me extra pay, begged me to stay another week. I told them I'd rather sleep on the street than step foot in that building again. People say abandoned hospitals are just concrete and ghosts of memories. But sometimes, those ghosts remember you. And sometimes, they don't let go. Even now, when I drive by that part of town, my radio cuts out. The lights flicker. And in my rearview mirror, sometimes, I swear, I see someone in a hospital gown. Just watching.